Today I'd like to talk about Vladimir Putin's play to try to take control of the internet with the assistance of China. This Ukraine and Eastern Europe is not the only front on which Putin is challenging the United States. He's part of an orchestrated effort and the catalyst for an effort to try to take control of the internet away from the United States and vest it in the United Nations under the International Telecommunications Union, which is a UN agency headed by a stooge of his, a puppet of his, a guy from Mali who was educated in the old Soviet Union. And the vice chairman of that commission is from China. There was a meeting last week in Sao Paulo, Brazil, preparatory toward one that'll take place at the end of this year in Singapore. And in the Sao Paulo meeting, they set up a framework for making decisions about the future of internet governance. Two things are impelling that. One is a revulsion against the NSA wiretapping and accessing emails and using the internet to spy on people, and a feeling in Europe that we need to take this away from the United States because we can't trust the NSA. And secondly, the desire of the internet community itself to expand and get free of the US government and become truly a global entity governed by what they call global stakeholders. This was manifest in the decision of the Department of Commerce in the United States not to renew the contract with the agency that runs the internet, ICANN, Internet Corporation for Assigning Names and Numbers, ICANN. And at the end of next year, their contract under which they basically run the internet with the Department of Commerce will be ended, and it'll be spun off into something. Putin is trying to take advantage of both of those things to push UN control, and his immediate effort is to push government control over the internet. In Sao Paulo, they set up a thing called Net Mundial, NETMUNDIAL, which would be the umbrella name of the group that would control the internet. And they set up a high-level stakeholders group, which would be sort of the governing body that would orchestrate the Singapore conference and lead to a resolution of this issue. And it's ominous. The stakeholder committee includes 24 members, 12 of whom are representative of governments. And some pretty unsavory governments are going to be on that list, including China and Russia and perhaps Saudi Arabia. The other 12 members are diffused. There are only 3 from the business community. So the big internet companies get only 3 slots on that board. 3 from NGOs, non-government organizations, largely human rights groups. 3 from academia, many of whom may be left-leaning, and 3 techies from the tech community. But the problem is that it's very government-centric. It's really an effort to give the world's governments control over the internet. And that's very dangerous, given the possibility of censorship, of lack of privacy. China, for example, wants to know the real names and addresses of everybody who has a domain name and has an email address, so that they can obviously go after dissidents. Russia and China both want the ability to censor internet content originating in their countries and to charge huge fees for accessing internet content that's not originating in their countries. These are just unacceptable, and the problem is that if it becomes a government framework, and certainly if it becomes a UN government framework, these are going to be hard changes to resist. We're going to keep talking about this on the videos. Unfortunately, it is not receiving anything close to the coverage it needs to get in the mainstream media. But please pay attention to this. It's very important. Thanks.